Tweet, 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 tweet.
Okay. All right. What did the stuffy croak or the little bird?
Yeah, she's got sore throat. She's got sore throat. Give her a break.
She bit the dust, did she? Well, all right. You guys, this is Ginger Cook. It's Acrylic Painting Monday, and welcome to our show. We're going to be painting a fine art snowman as opposed to a cartoon snowman, and I kind of referred to that in the title, and not to get too snotty, but this time of year you see so many Christmas cards that pretty much anybody can knock out a snowman, and then after Christmas they just put it away. I wanted to make a painting you could leave up, till March, and it would just feel like what you did when you had winter, because you don't stop making snowmans in January. Sometimes the best snow happens then, or February when it's tight enough to back and you're out making snowmen. So that's what we're going to be doing today, is we're painting a snowman. We're going to announce the winners of our gnome contest, our challenge. We're going to show you, we're going to announce the names of the gnome winners, and of course they'll also be notified by email, and show you the certificates they get and all their little prizes. That's so fun. And let's see, what else we're going to do. Say hi to the mods.
Hi, mods. Get that out of the way.
Tell you more about our Storytime project that goes on during the week on YouTube. But this is a tutorial. Unlike Storytime, this is actually a tutorial. We have very, very detailed step-by-step tutorials and painting tutorials on our website, and we have a bunch on YouTube. But tonight we're going to just generally show you how to do this. Okay? But it's definitely a tutorial as opposed to story time. That's not to say you couldn't hear a few stories, because oh my gosh, so much happens to us all the time that it's hard not to share it. Yes?
Absolutely.
So I kind of think of anything else I need to mention before we start.
No.
No. All right.
No, let's get down to it, boss.
All right.
Let's
Come on,
do
you guys.
it. Here we are.
So
whoa, there he is.
Here's our 12 by 12 canvas. It's painted light blue.
That is done with Payne's Gray and titanium.
And what I'm going to do, which is a little counterintuitive to what you would think, I'm going to take yellow, this is called raw sienna, and I'm going to paint my snowman yellow.
Oh, that seems counterintuitive.
And a dog has not got to him, I promise you. He's not yellow because some dog decided he was a tree.
Now that looks
that
like
could have happened, I suppose, right?
Is that the yellow oxide?
That is the raw sienna. But
that's raw sienna.
If you just, it's a little bit. A thing I discovered recently about raw sienna, I used to use it all the time and then kind of got away from it, was that if you mix it with white, you get a really lovely vanilla ice cream color. So kind of an off-white. I mean, you can really get a good color with that. Okay. And the reason I'm protecting our snowman is I went all the trouble to draw him on just the way I wanted him. Yes and yes. And so I don't want to lose the shape. I know that's sort of stupid, because anybody ought to be able to do
3 circles.
3 circles.
Now, don't we have a little story about that when you did the painting parties? I love that one.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
that will have to come up in a moment or two.
Yeah, absolutely. Right?
Oh, that's a priceless one.
Yeah, so I'm going to just take a little bit of the orange color here and just do this on his hat, because it's not going to stay orange. But it might make the red brighter. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. So you're with me? So I'm just going to do this and just kind of do that. Then I've got him locked in. And I want to thank everybody who's sent their paintings in for personal art coaching this week. I want to give a shout out to Vicky A, who if I haven't explained something you don't understand, I do not mind you writing me back and saying, I have no idea what you're talking about, lady. Explain more,
I do that too all the time. But a lot of times,
if I'm doing a tutorial and I'm telling you how, like for instance on YouTube, and if you decide to do 3 reindeer in here instead of this, I can't spend a lot of time helping you do the reindeer. Do you know what I mean? You can look up reindeer and put them in there, and I might make some suggestions, but we won't do a separate lesson on reindeer because you decided to put some in. Does that make sense? Well,
yeah,
so we encourage people to, one of the reasons that you try to, you certainly don't have to, but one of the reasons it's sort of nice to be able to try to follow along the tutorials, even if it goes against the grain. And it's only because and I'll tell you why it helps you, is because you will find that you're learning something you didn't know. Now, you may decide to paint the painting again and do it totally different. And it's okay if I do something and you hate it. That's all right too. But one of the advantages of following along and kind of listening to the instructions and maybe taking notes and seeing what I did, like for instance, you see right here I'm using the flat of my brush and I'm just very softly fuzzing out that bit of yellow I put there. You see that? And now my brush is a little damp, and I'm still doing that because I don't want a line. So a lot of times I'll do things, and there's a reason why I do them. And we repeat so many things in our videos because, and the reason we do is because it's hard to remember everything. And as you get one skill, another one comes and goes, right? So there's that. Okay. So now normally, I would like to be able to dry this. And you know what? I'm going to just put that aside for a minute because that really does need to dry. And sometimes we rush through these tutorials when we're doing a live show because somehow we're offending you with a hairdryer. And you know what, friends? Let's not do that anymore. Let's dry it properly when it needs to be dry. If it doesn't, if it's still not dry after I show you some stuff, then
hairdryer
we'll hit the
come out.
hairdryer, okay? So we won't take, let's see, I'm going to turn around and I want to talk to you about, painting snow. And since we're doing a snowman, I'm going to show you this painting. This is in our Academy of Fine Art. It was really coming up in our Academy. It's called the Michigan House, right? And I don't necessarily think of this necessarily as a Christmas painting, but more of a winter painting. And again, we have a snowman here. And when I painted this one, I did not paint him gold inside, but I might have if I'd had a chance to think about it after doing this one, all right? But nonetheless, a tutorial like this that's coming up in our Academy for red and our purple members is about, what would you say, it's about 6 hours?
No, that one, yeah.
About 6 hours. There's some real detail in it. It takes some time, but I explain a lot about, light on snow, layering, and so forth. That's one of the neat paintings coming up, which we think you would absolutely get a charge out of painting, and that will be released probably soon. Well, I know we're only like 2 weeks from Christmas now. The month got away from us, but we'll be releasing all of this stuff. So anyway, there you go. That's coming up.
It's gonna be coming out like crazy.
All right, I'm going to just hit that with a blast of the hairdryer for just a second. Just bear with me.
Doing that all of a sudden. All of a sudden there she goes, and I couldn't find my button fast enough. Hey, thanks everybody for joining us this evening. I love having you here. If you haven't had a chance to subscribe, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and don't forget to hit the old thumbs up. Ooh, I better do that myself. Bam, there you go.
And you can unmute me.
How do you know I even muted you?
I don't know that you did, but I have to tell you that in case you did. All right. So what I'm going to do now, and let's see, I think I have a palette paper somewhere.
Oh.
No, you took it, didn't you?
No, you diverted me to another task.
Oh, see, I diverted him to another task. Oh, such big words. Diverted. Okay. Another task. Here we go. Last piece of paper on this. All right. Let's take some white. And let's take this raw sienna. Here it is, raw sienna. Now the brands of paint I'm using today are Holbein and Golden. Those are just, if you don't have those, that's okay. If you want the best results, though, I would suggest you use professional acrylics, not student grade. You think you're saving money with student grade acrylics, and it would seem like you might, okay? But in truth, you're really not, because it takes more paint. You spend a lot, to cover. Now, some colors you can get away with in student, absolutely. But I just prefer to use, better quality paint. Wait for sales if you need to make it more affordable. Chances are, this time of year, companies like Dick Blick or online or Jerry's Artorama or Cheap Joe's, they will have paint on sale. But consistently, my daughter, the art Sherpa, has opened an art store and online, and it's just, and she has probably if something isn't, I mean, a big store like Michael's or something, if they offer the paint for free, I mean, she can't compete with that. But she and her husband John have really invested a lot in making sure that their paint prices are some of the best, and they've got I think they're $10 shipping now for those of you who may have tried them earlier. So I'm going to give a shout out to them if you haven't tried them for paint, and like I say, I would definitely recommend them. Okay, so now I'm going to take some white paint. I've got one of those nifty cop drops, Jules, that you gave me, just in case. They're really interesting.
They're delicious.
They probably work like a champ, right? So we're going to take some, this is white and a little bit of purple. And I guess I should go over the colors real quick. Let me put them up here real fast for you. I've got cadmium orange, cad red light, cadmium orange, cad red light, cad red deep, or rather naphtha crimson deep, but just any old red will do. That's a mauve purple, but you can use magenta and ultramarine blue to make that. Burnt umber, burnt sienna, phthalo blue, ultramarine blue, zinc white, titanium white, cad yellow medium, yellow oxide or ochre, raw sienna. This was cad yellow deep, and then cad yellow light. That's probably not necessary, but I just had it, so we're using it.
And
Okay.
there's a phthalo green out there too.
Oh, a phthalo green, yeah, that's true. There was a phthalo green. Yeah. Now I made a sort of light purple color, and I'm going to just take a little bit of ultramarine blue with that to kind of darken this a little. I just have a soft brush for this, and I just grabbed a brush. It's just not any particular brush. I just any old soft brush would do for this, because what I need to do then is take a blender like this and wet it and kind of blend these edges in here. So like clouds. Think of clouds and mist. Okay.
Have you ever used student grade paint just because it covers less?
No. The problem with the student grade paint is that not to be, it's not even, to me, it's not even worth your time for an underpainting, because it doesn't always adhere to depending on the brand, some of them don't bond. They're just, if they really wanted artists, in my opinion, they'd never sell it. Because a lot of people might have that. Oh, I have some raw umber too. If they really wanted artists to, they would never sell that stuff, in my opinion, because it's discouraging, and then people think they can't paint. So no, that's a little raw umber in that. So no, I don't recommend it. But then it's just, again, that's just us, and having done that, when for years I taught. When painting parties were very popular in Houston, like 10 years ago, and 12, 15, I taught painting parties, because the guy that I talked into starting the company, Merlota Masterpiece, he lived, his art gallery was right, not 2 miles from me. And I said, at night nobody's using this building. Why don't you do painting parties? They're a big thing in Florida right now. That's where they started. And if you use this, we could, he says, well, what? I said, I'll paint, I'll just teach. I don't want to do anything with, I don't want any part of the business, I'll teach. So he started it, and then pretty soon he had 5 locations. He was doing really well. He hired some other teachers, and he was doing really well. Put a little bit of raw umber with that, okay? and he's doing really, really well. And the problem was that, he didn't have the budget to buy a case of paper towels for a month, somewhere, or a wholesale case. He didn't seem to have the budget for it. So, he was running around always at the last minute, right before the parties, bringing us paper plates or paper towels. I mean, it was did this for years, and it was always this last minute stuff that was show. And then the paint. And if we didn't have the paint, let's see, I think I still want the magenta. If we didn't have the paint, well, he'd say, work it out. And I'd say, you can work out a lot of stuff, dear friend, but you cannot work out not having white. Let me just tell you how that works.
Not too well.
That is, you don't have white. He said, well, make it work, because he gets so frustrated, because he'd be running around at the last minute bringing in canvases, and he bought most of the canvases on some sort of special deal he got with the local Michaels, and 16 by 20, and they were rough. And then I wanted chalk, because I wanted people to be able to draw their stuff on, and that kind of thing. Anyway, so, and I designed probably about 80% of the paintings that we did. I designed, not all. Some of the other artists designed some too, and so whenever he threatened to fire me, I said, well, I guess I'll just take my toys and go home, right? Just, okay. It's a little magenta here.
Hey, we got a question for you there, boss.
Uh-huh.
What could you use instead of the Cad Yellow Deep?
Oh, marigold, maybe?
That's what we were thinking.
You don't really need it. I had it out. We'll see if we even want it before you go buy it. Okay? So,
did you say Nap Crimson Deep? And whose brand of paint is that?
That's Holbein. Nap Red Deep. Yeah, Nap Red Deep or something. Yeah. But just red. I didn't find my red, so I just grabbed a red, but any red will do. Okay? So don't get too caught up on the colors here. Okay, we're just we're good here. So anyhow, John wanted to know about the snowman. The snowman, I did a painting of two little snowmen, very simple for people that have never are drunk and haven't painted before. It's a real challenge to do those, because my thing is that I really wanted people to come home with a painting. Most people didn't care. They just wanted to just slap paint on a canvas and get drunk. And then every once in a while somebody would discover that actually this kind of works. I can do this. Okay? So you see how I'm layering in these blues over this. The whole trick of all of this stuff is the layering. So, and this is Zinc White over here, which I've got quite a bit of dark purple here, so I'm kind of lightening that up. His zinc is transparent. So this one lady, so he was so disorganized, and then he overbooked us that night. So a bunch of people came, and they were told they had to leave because, gosh, did you buy tickets? So sorry, And I didn't book them, but I'd have to be the one that told them that, right? And then calling up, what's the deal? Where all these people come from? And well, you can imagine, right? So we had that, and then we had a thing with the paint where we barely had the paint. We had some things that day. I have to tell you, there were some things. And I'm doing transparent layers here of colors, what we're doing here, in case you're wondering. It's hard to tell, but that's what we're doing. So this one lady, so I've got, so we've crowded some extra tables, we found some extra paper plates, and we've crowded everybody into this, this is a raw umber up here. We've crowded everybody into this this room, and I'm up there teaching it, and people are happily drinking away and having a great time. Okay. So we're talking about, we had a 2-circle snowman. We had 2 little snowmen, just 2 circles, And this one lady kept saying, "You're going too fast. slow down. I need help. And I'd come back, and she'd be really drunk. And she'd come back, and I said, what's the problem here? You know, because go around and help people. And she goes, you're going too fast. I said, okay, what do you need? And she goes, she goes, I don't know what you just did. I said, well, I made a circle right there. See? Here's a piece of, let me make a circle for you. Oh, she goes, okay. And then a little while later, wait. She goes, you're going too fast, you know. Just going, okay. Now everybody else is keeping up, mind you. It's just this broad, she's not, right? And so about the third time I go up to help her with the snowman, which is a 2-circle snowman, okay? And we haven't even done much painting yet. First time I go up to help her, okay? She says, you are just going too fast. I can't believe how fast you're going. And of course, you guys, you know I'm fast. It's true. You know, we know. But I looked at her and I go, well, I don't know. 31 out of 32 people seem to be able to keep up. You're going to be fired, she says. I'm going to tell your manager. You have insulted me. I'm thinking, gee, you don't even know how close I could come to this. I am being so good right now, you dumb cow. You know, just, I am so over this painting party shit anymore. If you give me any more trouble, I will take, you know, God, I was pissed at that woman. And then, really, I was. And I'm going to take a little ultramarine blue, and where did I put the magenta? I swore I got it out, didn't I?
You did not mention magenta when you were laying
I never
colors.
got it out. We talked about it. Oh, there it is. I put it over here. See, this is trouble with being a senior. Where is the magenta? You know, that's not the question seniors
Where's the
ask.
magenta? You put it on your gray palette?
I put it on my gray palette. I couldn't, yeah.
See,
okay.
you shouldn't be running 2 palettes. You're getting confused.
Yeah, I'm running 2 palettes because I need to be able to mix the colors, right? So magenta and ultramarine blue is what I'm doing here in white. Okay? So anyway, now we're really funny. And I told you we're not going to do a cartoon, and nothing could look more like a cartoon than this painting right now. Don't you love it? And I have made all these snotty comments about not doing cartoons. I promise you, it won't look like a cartoon when we're done. But right now, we have the cartoon vibe going. So anyway, later that night, and then Jeff was, he was up till, I don't know, 2 in the morning all the time running around with it, saying I didn't get out of a painting party till way after midnight anyway. I got home about 1 in the morning. And there's a message from him. We need to talk. I'm thinking, okay, And he started to tell me, he says, she went on, his biggest dread was that she went on, not only did she text him about what a horrible art teacher I was and mean to her, but she went into Yelp and wrote terrible things on Yelp. And he was so terrified of Yelp. I mean, that's just, for those of you who don't live in the United States and don't know what that is what would you explain what Yelp is, John, for people that don't know?
It's where people would go and leave reviews about different companies and different products.
And it's valuable. I mean, I would, you know, I mean, it's a good service, but anybody can say anything, and they never take it down.
Right.
So if somebody wants to trash your business, or your competitor wants to do it, they can do it, right?
Yep.
Because
you have no recourse.
You have no recourse. You can't say, well, that didn't happen. They're liar, liar, pants on fire. You can't say any of that, right? So, and he would leave these text messages that were very insulting, and you know, and then oh gosh, I was hopping. Have you ever been hopping mad, just where you're just so hopping up and down mad? I was tired anyway. He didn't have enough stuff for that stupid party. We're making do without the right colors already, and now we're talking about this cow. You know, just. But you know what? We got through it, and that's. I like the concept of painting parties, and so many people did such great things. And when we do if you like these kind of stories, during the week we're doing, it's called Story Time, and I'm just telling you experiences from our cruises, my life, my painting parties, when I sold cars, the time I was a spy, all these great things. And because John, I'm gonna have to dry this in a minute. Maybe you could tell them why we're doing story time videos during the week right now. As soon as I start my dryer, okay?
Okay. I don't have to say anything yet, do I?
You don't have to say anything.
Oh,
you
good.
see how you guys have layering these colors on? Like that, and everything's getting layered. And you know, there's just a method to our madness here. And I know it's hard to believe that could look like anything, isn't it? I just think that almost would be a good short, before and after. You know, it's like when I put on my makeup. You're going, how did that happen? You know.
Who's this?
I'm drawing that. All right, you tell them about why we're telling stories during the week.
Okay.
Painting.
All right, I've muted her. Quiet on the set. So we're doing what's called Fly on the Wall, a story time chit chat during the week, because we have so many paintings that we have to do for our members that have signed up for a yearly, new members, past members, signed up for a yearly red or purple membership. They get a Ginger Cook original. And we said, well, since we have to paint these anyways, why not let the people be a fly on the wall and let them, just watch us paint. Well, watch Ginger paint. I do other things. I have work to do myself. So basically, you guys are just sitting in the studio, chit-chatting among yourself, and watching Ginger paint. We asked, I watch the chat once in a while, try to answer a question or two if something comes up. But other than that, you're just quietly sitting there buzzing around.
Yep.
See, we have a little promotion going on right now for our yearly memberships. You can get a 6x8, 8x10, 9x12, or 12x16 original painting from Ginger if you sign up for a year for a red or purple. It depends upon how many years you sign up for. Depends on the size and etc. And that's going to run until December 31st at 11:59 p.m. So you don't want to delay.
What I'm doing here, John, is just adding some zinc white on top of all this and lightening the color again.
I see that.
And if you don't have zinc white, no titanium won't be thinned with water and do this.
No.
So just, yeah, this is an interesting thing. If you notice that there's no Zoom tonight, and our equipment's getting older and fragile and breaking, and we're, one of the reasons we're doing some of this is we're trying to
recoup.
We have to we have to replace some of these cameras, equipment. We have to do a lot, and we appreciate we appreciate the donations that are coming in our scholarship fund that help us keep the channel going, and keep our cameras going and all that stuff. Okay, appreciate that very much.
And speaking of that, we'd like to thank Susan for her donation that came in through Super Chat. I got to hear about the spy thing. Oh, that's a good story. That'll be in one of the episodes coming up. I don't know which one.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have another 40 paintings to go, so we'll be on for a while.
Yeah. So this is back to titanium in the.
And I gotta get thanking
yellow,
other people here.
No, that it's interesting. The stories that we do have. Okay, so now I'm going to very gently add some more light here, coming across from my lighter kind of glowy sky, using this raw sienna. Here's what I'm doing there.
My glowy sky.
My little glowy sky, right?
Such technical talk.
You like it, glowy?
Yeah.
Oh, you guys! Speaking of words, wait. The judges came back with the contest winners for the gnome.
Oh yeah, the gnome. Now the judges were my son and his, I guess, fiance person and their kids. They got they all had a vote on what was said. So we're starting from a 1.5-year-old. I'm not sure how much she participated, and the other one's 3, and the other one's 9 or 10. No, he's double digit now. I think he's 10 or 11.
Yeah, huh?
And then the 2 adults, and it was fun. And they so we have those results later tonight. So you don't want to you don't want to leave us now.
Wait till you see the certificates. And
too much is going on. Too much excitement.
Yeah, and this is the thing about painting, is that there's always these layers. People get in a hurry. They want to stop. They don't want to do the layers. They want to do it. It's all too much. But see, we're getting that background now, and that just absolutely has to happen. to get this to get the look I'm going for. Does it make sense? This is a little of the yellow. This is phthalo blue and raw sienna and white. That's an interesting color combination too. Phthalo blue, raw sienna and white. Let me just show you. See, it has a sort of an almost, isn't that a pretty color? That's a gorgeous color, isn't it?
Which one? That one?
Yeah, this one.
Oh, yeah.
So that's probably a little darker than I want, but that's the color I want.
It's almost like the...
It's almost like a phthalo green, but it's a little bit, it's not as bright. If you need to tone down, if you want a painting to look kind of like ancient, you know, put a little raw umber in it. Use some colors like raw sienna. Those are, paints that they used. Colors that were used quite a bit.
Here's a question for you, my queen.
What's that? Yeah.
Susan had just joined the Academy. I have a question about the Academy. I joined for the first time. Do you just pick one that interests you and start, or is there a certain progression?
Well, Susan, that's a great question, because what happens is we have so many videos. If you go under on the front page of the I wish John had a video, a screen fold down we could show you.
Of what?
Of the front page of the website, because what happens on our front page is that you'll see under the bar up on top, you'll see lessons, right?
You want the list of lessons? Oh, yeah.
Lesson listing, and the very first one shows the lessons by order of difficulty. Like 1 cookie is considered very beginner, never saw a paintbrush in your life. 2 cookie, almost that, right? 3 cookie, you're doing okay. And then the 4 or 5 and box of cookies, the lessons get exceedingly more challenging. Okay. Now you can send in any of the lessons for personal art coaching. You can send in 1 a week. But if you're working on it, you can send that one back several times as part of the, you can send it back and forth to me.
You can work on 4 different paintings in a month.
So you work according to what interests you. For instance, and here was my dilemma when we started this, and you can appreciate this, Susan, is that, okay, so most of our female artists are happy with florals, okay? They like them. They want to do them. But, but then every once in a while you have guys and they want a tractor, they want something else. And so
we're still waiting.
There's no tractor, but you get the idea, right? So the interesting thing was to find, to make tutorials that would not interest everybody. We understand if we release 4 a month, new tutorials, and there's hundreds there, that you're not going to want to paint all of them. But many of these tutorials will teach you the skills you need to be able to paint. Does that make sense? So it's really the whole idea behind this is it's self-paced. You just do it at your own pace, and pick something that's interesting to you. Try to at least do the size ratio. If I have an 8 by 10, then I wouldn't do it as a 6 by 8. Does that make sense? If I have a 6 by 8, your next ratio is 9 by 12, and we give you there's actually a ratio bar there, right? You have it. We have a little tablet. You can see all that, right? Okay. So anyway, so yes, it's self-paced. I think it's one of the most innovative ways to teach anybody art, because we've got so many different kind of lessons. We have Impressionism and the old dead guys, which are people before 1800, and we have photorealism and close to it, and abstracts and florals and flowers and vases and big flowers, and so you just kind of pick what you want. The thing is that if you I'm just sitting here talking to you and painting at the same time, so forgive me if my mind just wanders off occasionally while I'm doing that. I'm going to need another one of these tablets, John. These tablet thingies. This is the last sheet. Don't get cute. Cute doesn't become you.
Oh, that's sweet.
Does it really? 1 per customer? Did you hear that? 1 per customer? That me being the customer, and I need another one of these sheets to mix on. He's so funny. Anyway, I hope that answers your question. So yeah, and you know, and maybe you feel you're at a 3 cookie level, and you see a painting you want to try. Watch it, and you know, maybe it's a little higher than you wanted to do. Maybe it's a little bit. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Maybe it's a little more challenging than you were planning on, but that's not to say you shouldn't try it. You might surprise yourself. And again, we have personal art coaching. We help. We're happy to help. I do these little videos and send them back and forth. And you know, and most of our tutorials, I think, are very self-explanatory. We had one gal from the UK who we actually went to see. We saw her on a trip this year. Nikki Calver and her husband met us in England when we were there, and we got to meet them, and it was marvelous. And Nikki made the nice comment not too long ago that in fact she did it in today's, not too long ago, she did it in today's YouTube. She posted a painting she had done, and said, and it was beautiful. It was a waterfall. If you haven't seen it, it was Forest Falls, one of our tutorials for Wave and Water. And she said what made the difference for her was the personal art coaching. She said that's how she felt she learned the fastest, was the personal art coaching. And it does make a difference, what we do, you know, our art coaching. It does make a difference. But, you know, anybody is welcome to just have fun with it. You have questions, contact us. I tell you what, I'd say the first advice I'd give anybody that joins our academy is write your password up on your computer somewhere. That's probably the most problem people have, is that they forget their password, because we're dealing with a lot of our members, including myself, are at an age where forgetting passwords is probably inevitable. You know, so if you have it written down somewhere, then that's not a bad thing, right? So that's what we would suggest. I'm just using the raw umber here and an angle brush to put in a few of these little trees in the background here. And let's get a little bit of burnt sienna. And a little bit of zinc white and burnt sienna. Let's try that. Let's try some little lighter ones. And let's see if I can. Right now I'm just using I'm putting the paint on one side of the brush, see that? And then I'm just pressing the brush down like that to put snow on that side of the tree, like that. I'm not drawing it on there. I've got it's just on one side of the brush. Okay, that's all you want, just one side, like that, and then just any old angle brush. Okay, on one side of it, and then I might have a little bit of something here on this one. Maybe that's a little lighter here. It just suggests a tree.
Question here. We are only supposed to send in one new painting per week?
Yeah. Yeah. If you send in more than one, I'll just try to fit you in if I can.
But it comes
and you
after
can have,
the
if you have a question, you know, but you can, for instance, if you're going to start another painting, even if you've got one in, you say, I'm looking at this photograph and I want to paint this painting. What do you think? Send that in to me.
That's called a quick pack.
Please, yeah, for packs. Send in all photographs for packs before you start them, or you're doing a new project or something. I think that's just productive, even if we've got something else going with you, right?
Yeah.
Because, put a little purple, you know, purple grays yellow. Do you guys know that, right? Because it's opposite on the color wheel. So if you need a little bit of yellow something, and but you need a little purpley something. Like, for instance, these little branches back here are doing that. And the reason that this looks still so cartoony, the reason it does is because of this snowman. And,
the brown snowman?
A snowman, because we haven't done anything with him. So people tune in and say, what is that woman doing? She is just out of her mind. And that could be true also.
Absolutely.
But nonetheless, you will find that this kind of stuff does work. Okay, so I'm going to take a little bit of the burnt sienna and flatten the brush now.
So Susan's asking, so if you're a beginning, just choose a one cookie, paint it, take a picture of it, and send it in for your help.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
do that. Just send it in. And here's
that's
the thing.
how easy it is.
Yeah, just and we have a ticket system, and fill out the bio, which is there's a little bio, so I know something about you. And if you want recommendations for other videos, when I see how you're painting, I'm happy to do that too.
Yeah, once she gets to know you and know your style and what you're trying to do, she can better guide you. If you just send them in and don't tell, it's not like she's talking to you one-on-one. It's a one-way conversation until you give her feedback and says, Ginger, this is what I want to do in life. I want to sell my paintings. I'm a sock folder. That means I really like precision. And Ginger will grudgingly help you.
Yeah, happy. Grudgingly? What are you talking about?
Because it's a sock folder, people. We know how you treat us.
No, I admire sock folders.
You have to, because you're married one.
Well, you say that. You say that, John.
I do. Hey, let's give Jules a thank you while we take a break in the action for her donations that have been coming in all week long. And she has a few tickets in the old fishbowl for the next round.
Thank you, Jules. Really, and thank you for the
it.
medicine and all the nice gifties. And oh my gosh, and I want to give a shout out.
You got a couple of cards.
We got some great gifties in the mail. And incidentally, for those, not that I'm hinting, but for those of you who had wanted to send us Christmas cards and needed our address, the cards are can be sent to our P.O. box, which is listed under at the very. If you scroll all the way down on your phone. Under Contact Us, you will see the P.O. Box. Okay? And the information. And so it's just kind of cool, right? All right, so you can see, you're going, gosh, Ginger, it looks like a cartoon to me. I don't know what you're going on about, but that's a cartoon if I ever saw one. I know.
Patience, people, patience.
I know, this is
We have to go through the ugly stage.
Yeah, I know. Just here's one of the things I try to do. And somebody made the comment about the storytime painting, where I started with something. I think it was the bottom of the canvas and finished it, and then went up and did the sky. One of the last things. Now, normally I don't do that, but when you're telling a story, at this point, if you're not here for the art lesson, this is just too scary, right? So you got to finish something really nice. That's one of the things, if you get invited to paint in public or do a demonstration, have either part of the canvas done before you start, or start with something people can easily identify before you do that. Does that make sense?
I think it does.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Well, it does to me.
Well, there you go, John. If it makes sense to you,
it's got to make sense to everybody.
It must be right.
It must be right.
Okay. I've got a little ruby satin silver. Your brushes matter, for sure. I'm going to put a little pine tree in here. A little bit more of the white and the raw umber with the blue. Goes down into the ultramarine blue a little bit.
Since we're in the mood of giving thank you, let's give a thank you out to Sandra for her donation that came in via PayPal.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you so much. Because this is the time of year that It's appreciated probably more than others. Not more than others, but really a lot. Does that make sense? Because it seems like this is the time. I don't know what happens. Everyone breaks. Like we can't Zoom right now. It's just.
It's just nice the way it is,
It's just the way it is. So if we can. We replaced the microphones. That was our big thing. First thing we did. We replaced the microphones.
Yeah, we got that. We got the mics fixed again for another year or two.
Yeah.
They usually last about 3 years. 2 to 3 years is all they last. I don't understand why. Everybody that does anything with video, audio, seems to be the big Achilles heel.
The reason you want Zinc White is if you go over like a branch like I'm doing, like this, the reason you want it is because what it does is it fades that tree into the background. You want it real thin. I want these trees to show, but I want to suggest there's trees here, but I don't want to talk about them. So that just push those way back, okay? And so now before I can go too much further, do you want to take a minute? I'll break this. I'd like to take a minute and show you our gnome contest. Because it's right
Oh, would you like to take a minute and you have, let's do the Christmas cards that are right there to your left. That would be your other left.
Other left. Other left. Oh, can I show the cookies?
Well, okay, you can do the cookies. That was supposed to be after the Christmas cards, but that's fine. Christmas cards are in there with your brushes on the left.
Okay. Oh, look, you guys. I got to move this so I can be drying it. Thank you, Judy Guitar, for sending us these cookies from Cheryl's
Ohio.
Corner. Look at these. I've had a couple. They're real butter on there. They're like the best Christmas cookies ever. These
individually wrapped for your protection.
They're wrapped, individually wrapped, and they suggest if you don't eat them for like the week, they put them in the freezer.
I'd be surprised they last a week.
And, well, anyway, they're wonderful. I've had two and I love them, so thank you very much. Love that. That was just so kind. And what did you say my other stuff was?
You have the right to your left.
Oops, who did, what left?
Put that back on the rack and I'll get it later.
What left?
Okay, turn to the camera.
Oh, that left. That left. Ha! All right, here's the...
That's from Jules.
That's from Jules.
Open it all the way up. It's a stretchy. It's a poster. Do you not know how to work cards?
I get so few, John.
I know.
I'd know better if I got so few. And love and art house, Jules, and Merry Christmas. And see, this will go up on our mantle.
I love that guy.
Now we'll have 2 cards to put up there. My kids never send any. So,
Are you whining? You sound like you're whining.
Well, I get one from my insurance agent. He always sends us a card. Okay.
Oh, that's true.
This is Season's
Is this
greetings
from Elizabeth?
From
Elizabeth.
Liz Caraway.
Yep.
And it's a lovely message, and thank you very much for those.
And there was supposed to be a magnet in the envelope, but the envelope wasn't fully sealed, so the magnet didn't make it.
We never got the magnet, but thank you for the thought, right?
Yep.
Somebody else got the magnet.
Take a picture of your magnet and send it in so I can take a look at it.
So anyhow, that was that, and then I just have to. Are you ready for the?
Do you have the people?
Yeah. Okay. So you guys.
Hold on.
Those of you who don't know, we did a gnome challenge in November, and we gave people about 3 weeks to do it. And for our Facebook club, and anybody didn't have to be a member of the Academy or anything. Didn't have to even be an Orange member, nothing. You could just enter. We had like...
You didn't have to be a member of the Facebook club.
Yeah, a Facebook club or anything. A lot of people hate Facebook, too, as shocking as that is. So anyway, those of you who entered, we had like, what, over 40 entries?
Almost 50. Almost
50 entries, and they were so cute and adorable. And I couldn't decide because I love you all, right? So we let John's family, his son's family, everybody, they voted on them. And then we designed these certificates. So if you participated at all in our GNOME challenge, you will get a nomenclature certificate of participation. This one is for Tent Bolin, and that's a signature.
Well, we used her name because hers is the longest to fit in there.
Yeah, so you're going to get a certificate like this emailed to you, and you can print it out and frame it and hang it in your studio. I'm going to shout out to Debbie McKay, who explained to me how important the certificates were one time when we were visiting her in Australia. We got it, Debbie. So we're
doing this for you, kid. I don't think you put one in here, but
yeah, right. She almost dropped out of the Academy because she missed out on a certificate. So no, make sure we have your correct email address. So then if you were one of our 5 winners, 6 winners?
1, 2, 2, 4, 6. We have 6.
6
5
winners.
categories and
5
1 best of show.
5 categories and 1 best of show.
Well, Lisa knows she's the best of show because there it is, Lisa.
Lisa Boudreau, there's your certificate, and it will have your painting on it. If you were one of the categories that won, like funniest, and we'll show you later on. We'll flash them on the screen. And of course, we will post them in where
on the website.
On
where
the
the gnomes
website
were.
Tomorrow. They'll be on the website. If you want
they're already there.
Won. They're already there. Okay.
We don't mess around. We have a staff
So
that's busy
aren't
working.
these classy? Come on, you guys. Are not these classy? So if you want, for instance, the most humorous one, you'll get a certificate with your picture on it that you can frame and hang in your home. Let people know that you're not just mucking about, that you're actually
that you're a
an
real
artist
person.
and that you win things. Yes.
And I'll put those up as she's drawing.
Yeah. So all right. So I think I'm pretty good here now.
Are you?
Yeah. All right. And John.
Oh, so you're dry enough? We don't have to go on with the gnomes.
Yeah. Go on with the gnomes, and I'll dry.
Okay.
That's probably safest. Yeah.
Yes.
This is just going to be a day, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. Let me get the. Okay. We will start. Okay. The categories are: we have most humorous, unique, spirit, imaginative, and skill. We will start off, if I can find where I do this. I do this every time I do this. Okay, we will start off with the most humorous, which I'm sure everybody would know what this one is. And switching over to it. There you go. That is the most humorous, and that was by Edith. Thank you, Miss Edith, for that one.
Don't mute me because I want to comment too. Isn't that
Oh, wait. You want to talk, I have to unmute you. That's another screen. Okay.
Isn't that cute? And I love the way the pine tree is painted too, by the way the snow's done there correctly.
It's the little details that we go for.
Okay, and what else you got, John?
I've got coming up next.
Who did that one?
That was done by Edith.
Okay, congratulations. That was the most humorous.
Okay, that is Tint's, and hers is the most unique.
Most unique, Tint. Oh, there you go. So you'll get 2 certificates in Tint. You'll get that one and the other one, participation.
Well, everybody gets participation.
Everybody gets a participation, and then if you also get...
Yeah, these 6 will also get their award ones.
And then you'll get, like, we're doing like $50, Best of Show got $150 credit for download.
Well, now we'll come to that in a second. Stifle over there.
Okay.
That is Miss Becky's. She has the most spirited, most spirit.
Okay.
For Miss Becky.
Most holiday spirit. Okay.
Most holiday spirit. Imaginative is this one. Most imaginative. I love that one.
Isn't that fun?
That's a great one.
That's great. Who did that?
That was done by Pat Whitman.
All right. Congratulations, Pat. Those are wonderful. Yeah. You guys, come on. How fun is this, right?
And then the most skillful one goes to Janine.
Oh, in India. Janet in India. Congratulations. She's watching this at 2 in the morning or 5 or something.
Some ridiculous time. Now,
and they kind of looked at the gnomes, all kind of feeling they're from you. I feel it. I feel it. Don't you, John?
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. This is great, right?
And we'll go back now to our art table is there. And okay, so now what is everyone going to get? Besides their certificates, everyone that participates will get their PDF certificate. And the award winners will get the second certificate. Everyone will also get a 20% discount in our store that will be valid through February 28th, so you don't have to go rushing, use your Christmas money to come back and shop. The best of show person, which was Lisa, will get a credit of $150 for downloadable, and then all the other award winners will get a certificate for downloadables valued at $100. And you can do it on 1, 2, or ever how many to use your money's up.
And explain what a downloadable lesson is.
Basically, 90% of our lessons that we currently have on our website are available for download. So you do not have to be a member to
paint them. But
to paint them. You can get a downloadable lesson, which you don't really have to download. We call them that because you can either download them or you can watch them online. But you don't have to be a member. That's available to everyone. And some of them that are in there are only available for download. We did a couple lessons that are not in the academy as regular lessons. And we'll probably have more of those this year as we continue to paint. So that's the scoop on that. So thank you everyone that participated, and do give me time to get the 50 certificates done and everything else done. You'll get your email with your coupon codes in the email as well. If you have any questions at any time, use the contact us.
And thanks everybody for participating. There was a little bit of worry that somehow that it wouldn't, why bother? All these great artists were participating, why bother, right? And you can see why. It's just you don't know how people perceive your work till you do it, do you?
No,
and you must have had fun with it. Surely you had fun with this, right?
Well, truly you did. Somebody wants to see the best of show again, so let's bring that back up. That was Lisa's. I don't think I need to put that up there, Lisa. I apologize. I think we skipped her. So let me interrupt you there, boss.
Sure, go ahead. I'm just putting in some snow. They can.
Yeah, there's the best of show. Thank you. Was that Timmy?
Isn't that cute? Honestly, you can see the furry robe, and you almost can put your hands in the fluffy fur.
The fluffiness, yeah.
Fluffy,
and the music, you can hear the
robe.
music is right there. You can see it and hear it.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Yeah, so that was Lisa's.
Good.
Tara painted a tractor, and that would have been my first choice. My son doesn't appear to have the love of a tractor. I will have to mention that to him. But
which is why we're careful not to judge.
Yeah, because
we didn't want to be the judges on this.
No.
And we wanted the mods to be able to participate, so we couldn't
enlist them.
We couldn't enlist them either because we wanted everybody. Sometimes some channels will not let their mods participate in everything. My gosh, these gals and guys are just they're volunteering.
Volunteers. They're no different than you guys.
Why shouldn't they get to participate just like anybody else? I mean, what do you mean they can't participate? Of course they can participate. What a silly idea, right?
Well, at least that wasn't our opinion.
That's our opinion. But that's our opinion. Yeah. So.
Okay. So that does that little tidbit of business. Now we have another thank you to do. Let's do another thank you while I'm taking a break in the action.
Come on, did we knock it out of the park with those certificates and everything? Aren't you guys impressed?
Come on,
a little bit,
you're impressed.
Maybe. A little bit, maybe. A little bit impressed.
And let's give Sharon a big thank you.
Thank you, Sharon.
For her donation that came in through
PayPal.
Here. And you got yourself a ticket in the fishbowl. Now you can see all of the gnome paintings on our website, which is...
everybody that participated.
I think Tech Liz will put the link up there. You can find it under the menus of blogs and blog awards. Blogs, something. But that's where they're at, and you'll like them.
See, I'm layering the colors on here, right?
It's all about layers.
You just wouldn't think that. Still looks like a cartoon. You're going, I don't know, Ginger. Looks like a cartoon to me, not to be insulting, but where's this? Here we are. But I got to put a little more of this yellow color out. Sienna. I know, looks a little bit like a cartoon, but we're still getting there, right? And you see, when you add a little bit of that color to the snow, light yellow is brighter than white. You wouldn't think so, but it really actually is.
Yellow is lighter than white. It is as far as the
It
camera
is
sees
perceived white, lighter by the eye or something. It's a weird thing. Go ahead, laugh, but it's a
I'm
weird
not
thing.
laughing. That
You
was
are.
not
You're
that,
laughing.
that
I
was
hear
not
the
me
laughter,
laughing.
John, but it's all right. Ye of little. What is that expression? Ye of little faith. You know what do you know? What does he know? Nothing. He knows nothing. He knows nothing. They just don't know nothing. Okay. All right. All right. So we're going to put a tree here, and colors we're going to make this tree are. We are going to start with a. It's going to be a triangular shape, but it's going to have some air breathing. It won't be a solid triangle. You always want to have some air in there. So we're going to start with the, let's just start with dark green, and we're going to say it's going to go up this tall, and it's going to come down right about to here. Here, this is our tree, right down like that. There's our pine tree. Okay? So then I want some phthalo green and some burnt umber, and a little bit of purple, like 1%. And I'm going to start up here at the top using my brush here, and just at the tip of the brush. And I'm going to start putting in the fir branches, the fir tree. And keep in mind that you need some spaces, you need some air spaces. Right? Okay, and as your tree goes further down the trunk of the whole thing, it gets the branches get bigger. So get some more of this dark color in here, like that, and we're going to come all the way down here like this, and going to bring it all the way down here like this. And it's going to come out, and we're not going to talk about it on this side. It's going to come down a little bit further in the front like that. There you go. There's our pine tree. Okay. So that's good, right? And it has to be that color before you put the snow on. We can have some lighter colors in it in a few places. I can do that. Just this light blue in a few places. I can tap that in there. And a little bit of phthalo blue and white. Whoops, that's not. You gotta just kind of mix it up here, right? And I'm going to say that this is some blue going in here while it's still wet. Fairly fast brush strokes. And this has got to come really out here more than I had it. Maybe some dark brown and purple. Get something darker in here. Just a little bit of that purple color. All right, see what I did? Okay. And then here, I've got a tree, starts here and goes up here. So I'm just going to pull my brush down like that. And I've got another one that starts here and it goes up here. It's just too brown. So it starts here and it goes up. I've got those two trees. Okay, so far so good. All right, let's move this out of the way, and I'll take that magenta and move it somewhere. So anyway, so it looks like I'm painting every day for a while until everybody gets their
painting.
Their paintings. And so this fly on the wall thing, it's actually kind of a neat thing. I tell more stories and all of that. And I think it's kind of fun. And one lady said what she does is she just puts it on her phone and she listens to it, and every once in a while checks back to see how I'm doing the painting. Some of the paintings have taken me, like 3 days. Got to just turn this on its side. Something dark. When you're painting trees, you start with the dark trunks and then you add the lighter color. Let's put a little red with that. Okay, so I'm going to do this. I'm just going to pull the trunk toward me because that's a little bit easier to paint than the other way. I want it pretty dark up here at the top. Okay, you don't want it to get too tapered. It's going to be almost the same thickness. And then the other one is going to be the same thickness, almost all the way up to the top. Ultramarine blue and burnt umber make a very good dark tree color. I'm just going to come here like that and just pull it toward me. Like so. Okay. See, and you're going, okay, and then let's kind of bring that down a little bit, okay? Put a little dark brown down here. A little brown, let's get something kind of dark down here at the base of our tree here. And then we want to do I think it's not quite wide enough, this tree, so let's turn it the other way like this and pull it this way. Want to give a shout out to our friend Andrew in Haiti.
He's on.
And say hi to him and happy holidays. And his son was in an accident, and we wish him good health and feeling better and well and all that stuff. And Andrew usually is in the States at this time of year, but he hasn't been able to leave. He does the business there and not able to leave right now. But I hope that you guys have a good, safe holiday. So I'm going to bring another tree up here. Okay, like that, and just do a little bit of the burnt sienna, I think, on it. It doesn't need to be that dark. I'm just doing pretty much this whole painting in a couple of brushes. And it's just fine. And now we can bring some of this down a little further. So a little bit of the purple and stuff. And shout out to my friend Yoshi, who paints in a bomb shelter.
Doing pretty good, though.
And she's doing good. And, you know, it gets interesting because, you know, somebody asked about what you can paint. You know, everybody has different things they want to paint. And if you're a purple member in our academy, you can send, you don't have to ever do a tutorial. You can just send me your stuff and I'll help you with it. And it can be all original stuff. You can do a non-original painting. You can send in one for personal art coaching if it's not that, but
if you're a red member.
If you're like a red member, you can do one. But if otherwise, you can.
Purple members have free reign, pretty much.
Yeah, we have a range of memberships and stuff. But the personal art coaching, that can tell you, works. It's very easy to do. And I usually get back to people with, not counting weekends, though I do art coaching on weekends. I usually get back to people fairly quickly. And I try anyway to get back fairly quickly. So, anyhow, there's where we're doing on that. And let's see, I've got to bring my snow back up here. I want my glow, but I want my glow to be just in this area, implying there's a lantern or something there. And, okay. Just don't want to say that much about it. It just that's what's there, and we've got to do more stuff here. All right, so we're going to leave those trees. This tree, they can dry. We're going to work on the snowman, and the reason we're doing that is because I need that to dry, and we're moving along in here. It's we're moving along. All right, so remember we talked about painting this yellow first, so now I'm going to paint the white. The reason that I did the yellow, or the raw sienna, was because when you paint anything, there's always a bit of the undercolor coming through, okay? And so I wanted a little bit of that warmer color, not the blue color, to come through. Does that make sense?
That's why you did it. Makes sense.
So that's why I did it. It's almost like it got its own little underpainting.
It's its underwear.
Yeah, it's got its own little thing here. On this side. So this gets a little purple. So this is a kind of it's definitely an artist's interpretation of a snowman, because I've got all these great colors on my snowman, little tiny brush strokes here, and just kind of blues and purples and so forth, and the darker as we get down toward the base, like that. Maybe a little darker right up here in his where his coat is. It's going to be darker. And so as I start putting him in, for the most part, of course he's white, but I just wanted the underpainting. And also, I didn't want to lose him, and by painting him gold like that, then I had not lost his shape or anything when I was doing the background, because it's an interesting thing that you can easily lose the shape of stuff that you're painting. You might be doing a horse or a person or something, and you're painting the background. It's easy to lose it. Accidentally just paint something you didn't mean to, and then it's gone. Where was that line? So if you do it this way, you don't have that that difficulty.
Let's give Sheila a thank you for her donation that came in through PayPal. And she's got herself a ticket in the fishbowl.
Thank you, Sheila, so much. Appreciate it so much.
Will we be getting more portrait lessons as Purple members? It's been a while since we had the last one.
Yeah.
Basically, we had all this holiday stuff we had to get out of the way.
We had to get the holiday stuff out of the way, and I kind of let that a little late, but sorry. I know it. I did.
We got, I'm trying to think what's on the board. I know in my head we've got like 6 more designed or more. It's still only 24 hours in a day, as much as I've asked for more. And there's still only 7 days in a week when I even ask for more.
Now, Purple also, besides the portraits, you get the full access to the Wave and Water Masterclass.
No, we have some good water ones coming in,
we got
too.
some beautiful water ones. If you are not aware of that, that's we have the beautiful Wave and Water Masterclass ones too. And that's a pretty color. Phthalo green makes the most beautiful white, a blue, kind of light blue watercolor. It is a beautiful ocean color. Phthalo green. It's really, when you add white to it, it's less about being green and more about being white, like a light blue color, like a watercolor.
Hey, let's give Eric a thank you for his donation that came through PayPal. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate that.
Thank you. So I think you're kind of seeing what I'm painting now. I'm not sure if you guys are still seeing it, but you see it. And of course, you won't be able to do one coat of just one coat of white on a snowman. Like, it needs a few coats, but nonetheless, it was worth painting him.
A little warmth.
A little warmth.
A little warmth for his belly.
There was a book I read some years ago called Somalia's Sense of Snow. It was a Danish book. They translated it to English. And they were talking about the Inuit Eskimo people that live in their territory. And what they were saying, which was so interesting to me, was that they have, what was it, 10 or 12 different words for snow. That's amazing, isn't it?
Well, you have to know what kind of snow you're going out into.
There's snow that's icy and the wet snow, and I was thinking of the kind of snow that you need to make a snowman. Notice that we're lightening things now again. Okay.
Snowman snow is not edible snow, just so you know.
And I can't remember, what's the reason, John, that if you're dying of thirst out in the wilderness, you can't eat snow? Is there some reason for that?
I've never heard that one.
No? Then maybe I'm wrong. I don't know why
I don't know why you would think that one. Snow.
I don't know.
Unless it's yellow snow, that might be a reason. I don't know. No yellow snow?
No, I heard that somewhere. You didn't hear that?
I'll have to investigate that. Hey, a truckload of thank yous goes to Andrew for his donation that came in via PayPal. And he's got himself a few tickets in the old fishbowl. Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you, Andrew, very much. Wow. I don't know what anybody's done, but whatever you did, we appreciate it. Thank you. All right, now where'd that magenta go that I plopped over here? You all saw it, right? Oh, here. Sticking up in the air. Magenta and ultramarine blue make the nicest purple. And the problem with purple, Dasani purple, and you'll see that in a lot of my earlier tutorials, and I do like it. You know, you guys, I do like Dasani purple, okay? But the problem with it was that it glares when you take a photograph of it. It's a great color. But there is a bit of a glare, isn't there, John?
With the purple, yes.
But if you do
dioxide,
if you do Dasani, if you use magenta and
ultramarine blue,
you get a beautiful purple too, and you don't get the those results that I just talked about, right? So I want to make sure that I have this purple.
Eating snow could contribute to hypothermia. That's why you wouldn't do it.
Well, I knew there was some reason we weren't supposed to do it, right?
Well, it's going to lower your body temperature, big time. You're eating snow.
But of course you could melt it and have it, but not just eat handfuls of snow. As a kid, of course, we did it all the time. Right? Yes?
Yeah, even as an adult, we did it all the time.
As adults? Well, you made some sort of ice cream out of your snow.
Yeah, we made snow cream.
Which I'd never heard of. I don't know. Anderson,
how could you not know?
How
many people, let's do a survey. Anybody know about snow cream? Come on. You people that live in the north. There's got to be somebody in there that sort of snow cream. While they're doing that, let's give Julie a thank you for her donation that came in through PayPal. And she's got herself a couple of tickets in the old fishbowl.
Yes, thank you.
I am almost caught up. Appreciate
it's
all
coming
the
along. I know you guys. You can kind of see I'm getting there. Not fast, but I'm getting there. Right. So then we're going to turn this sideways, and we're going to take a little bit of the. Let me turn my picture sideways.
Liz knows about it. Andrew knows it with maple syrup. See that? And then that's the East Coast does the maple syrup.
Huh.
I can't believe it. Snow cream, yes. Vanilla, sugar, and milk. No, we use heavy cream. What do you mean milk? Come on, Pam. Get the good stuff. Michelle's never heard of it. A lot of people have heard of it.
I don't know.
Sweetened condensed milk. That's a good choice.
Oh, that stuff's disgusting. Who eats that?
Oh, you just don't know how to live.
Perhaps. I really think canned milk is disgusting, though, so I'm sorry, John.
It's sweetened condensed milk. You do it with something else. You don't have it by itself.
Okay.
Every winter as a child in Missouri, we made snow cream with chocolate syrup. Now, there you go.
That's
Janny, who lives in
You probably
Canada.
started that before there were 7-Elevens and Stop and Goes, right? I mean, why else?
Why else would you think you'd have to eat the snow?
Just that must have been before the grocery stores were open 24 hours a day and there were Walmarts that deliver. I don't know. I don't get you guys. I don't know why you do that, but okay.
Tara up in Canada says we use maple syrup on our snow.
Oh, Tara, I'm shocked.
She would know. These people know these things.
Well, I know they do, John. I know. I'm shocked, but I understand. Now, what I'm doing now, so I'm going to take a different brush. I'm taking some zinc white. I want to push this tree back just a little bit up at the top. So there's this big dark line up here like that. So that's where, even though we put it in dark, we're gonna do it. Gonna take it back. Well, the reason I mentioned the different kinds of snow, okay, is because for instance, Seattle, we had very, very wet snow. It never got cold enough.
That's not eatable snow.
Occasionally it got cold enough to make a snowman, right? But for the most part, we had, I would say more wet snow than that, right? So let's see, where am I going with all this? Yeah, okay. So, but you may have different kind of snow in the east than we had, and you had different experiences. Like, for instance, in Aspen, I lived in Aspen for years, and when Cinnamon was born in Aspen, she literally is a Sherpa, literally a Sherpa in the sense that she's got all kinds of, let's see, sometimes when I'm doing this, I have to make sure it's not paint. Yeah, so I was going to do something. Well, no, is that paint on my screen? Or is that actually in the picture? Don't you love that? What was it? Okay, yeah, maybe. Okay. So, anyway, but we had, kind of, crispy, crunchy, noisy snow, right?
That's not the good snow.
Just a little of that yellow, and see what I'm doing here with that now, right? And that's
all right, we got to thank you going out to Debbie for her donation that came in through Venmo, and she's got herself in that ticket in the old fishbowl.
And listen, for those of you guys thank you so much for that, by the way. And for those of you who are watching our, during the week, are watching our Fly on the Wall and listening to the stories and stuff, and just maybe having it on in the background, I appreciate if you just made a comment at the end and just said, love the show or something. Just take a minute, make a comment. It's good for our YouTube ratings. This is sort of a new show. We're
trying to reach a broader audience.
We're trying to, collect a new audience, and we need YouTube to send this out and tell people a little bit about it, right? And so your participation in just the comments after the show is helpful. I'm turning this up here and doing another little tree. This is Zinc White, by the way, or not Zinc White, but Raw Umber, which is that was Raw Umber, now it's something else. It's Raw Umber, and what Raw Umber is a little bit more of a translucent color, and now it's got some magenta in it because I grabbed it, but sorry, it doesn't matter, it still works. Okay, so let's see how far up I'm going to go with that. All right, like that. A little bit of a tree right there, and then I'll take a little bit of white here like this, just because I flattened it. We talked about why I flatten brushes, I think yesterday on one of the live shows.
Well,
you want to be able to flatten the brush so it'll hold the paint on the edge, and not see, it'll absolutely hold it, which is good, right? So, some cad yellow light. So a little glow in the background there. Still working on the snowman. I apologize, it's taking a little longer than I thought, but I hope you don't mind, because it's it just is taking longer than I imagined. But you know, when you look at things, you think, oh, this won't take long. But I did it. I wanted to do it 12 by 12. One, because I think this is a painting you could leave up year-round, as I said before. And the other thing is that it looks less Christmas cardy in this shape than it would otherwise, right? Don't you think, John?
Oh, absolutely.
You know, so many of the snowmans that are being painted right now, and they're lovely and they're cute and everything, but they go for cute, and I didn't want to go for cute with you guys.
No cartoon.
No cartoonies. We didn't want to do cartoonies, and I guess that's what the deal is there.
We're going for the fine art snowman.
Well, we were, you know, and we are. And there's no worry about it. We are.
That's where we're going.
So I'm going to take a little bit of purple and ultramarine blue and burnt umber and make a dark brown for my branches. And if you lift the brush up and just use the toe of it, just imagine dragging your foot across the floor and then just lifting your heel up, or your toe up, and so that when you're doing something like this, you're only doing the very tip of the brush, and you're just barely touching it. I think that the harder you push, if you just, you know, someday when you're watching television, you're not doing anything anyway, grab one of your group of your brushes and some paint, and just an old canvas you don't care about, and just see how thin you can make lines. Okay? You know, see what happens then, because I think you'll be surprised at this is not anything but practice. Make sense? Make sense, John?
Anything but practice. What?
This is practice. The only trick to getting a thin line is practice.
That's
and
true.
A good brush.
Yes.
Right? So
absolutely.
I've got to let that dry so that I can let's put snow on this tree. Now keep in mind when you're doing trees, the snow's falling down, so it's catching the top of these branches. There's a branch that's looking right at you, like my finger pointing at you, and the way you do that is almost like a triangle shape in front. Okay. So what we're going to do now is just add the snow, and we'll add a little bit of this light color to, where did that go? Here. All right, we're going to add a little bit of that coat. Let's get some white up here and a little bit of that color. That's that raw sienna, right? So we want it warmer. So now we're going to start at the top, okay? Using just the tip of the brush, and we're just going to plop a bit of snow on it. Want it a little bit whiter than that. Okay, so we're going to use the tip of the brush. We're going to just plop some snow, and then it's going to hit this top of this branch right here. See what I'm doing? It fell here on this one, like that. Yes and yes? That's what it did, in big plops. And then it kind of plopped a little bit here and there, and then we got another plop right here. So when you're doing this, you've got to make sure that you see the dark underneath. Don't erase the dark, because that's where people get into trouble, is they don't leave enough of the greenery underneath when they're doing these. Okay? Skip a space and then add some paint, And then maybe it's going on top of this branch here, and then there's a little bit here, and landed on there, right? Maybe there, across in front, right? See what I'm doing? And then maybe it landed, there was a bunch here. Okay, and there's a bunch right in here. Let's see, where's some white? Right, and I'm just sort of tapping it on here, right? Okay. Right? Then right here in the middle, let's just say this is a branch all by itself, and it's coming this way toward us, like that, okay? And then maybe there's a little one here and a little bit there. And you don't have to fill up the whole thing. You can just do a few little dots like that, and you've got a pretty good looking tree, okay? Without having to do too much. And then if you want something to just sort of fade off into the mist, a little bit of zinc white, you could just do something like that and just fade these trees off. Remember I told you about zinc white and what it does? And then these are just sort of, again, faded off into the back again. So that's, I know it's a lot of work, you know, and in that sense, I want something darker right down under here. I lost a little bit of the dark with the dark green and stuff, but I want something darker under this branch here, and then just say it came out this way. So even if you lost a little bit of that and put a little bit of the gold, you know, you can, doesn't all have to be white, but there. Now, when that dries, I may come back with another little added bit of white as the white kind of dries up on me, all right?
It'll darken up on you a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, as it darkens up, which it will.
Do you want to let that dry a little bit and show some of the paintings you've been working on for the members?
Yeah. Let me show you some of the stuff we've been doing because it's exciting. Okay.
These are non-tutorial, one-of-a-kind paintings.
Yeah. It's let's see, not this. Where'd this one come from?
Oh, I was shooting a bunch last night. And he was just throwing in a bunch.
Okay. So one of the big hits was this one. And that's on, you know, how I painted this, not a tutorial, but just you can watch me paint this. These birds and strawberries was over 3 days on YouTube called Strawberries in a Basket, okay? We're now calling these Storytime Chit Chat because we're trying to get keywords here so that YouTube understands what we're doing because it's really not tutorials, but you can learn a lot just by watching, all right? Chit Chat, all right? And then we've got... these are the people that signed up for 3 years as purple members. And here's one I really love. Is this autumn waterfall. Okay, that's one. And then we have, not everybody's different. There'll never be tutorials. They may be a puzzle or something, but they'll never be tutorials or anything like that. And this is like a farm with the flowers. Nice landscape. Again, all original pieces by me. Give a shout out to Kim Carr who claimed this one, the Gypsy Wagon in the Snow. This was over 3 days. It was fun, the decision we made on how to do the rabbit. A lot of talk on that one on these pens that I used.
Yeah, Ristos.
The Art Risto. There's like a big box of these neat pens, and they're marvelous.
They're really nice.
They're acrylic paint and pens, and they got a lot of colors. Which was I love Posca, but they didn't make enough colors. And anyway, there's like 60 in there, colors. And they're marvelous. So I showed a little bit about that in there. So again, you see the snow. You see the snow on the branches. Kind of see where I'm going with my snowman too, right? So there's that. And then if you were by any chance doing did you do the little one in the frame, the tiny one?
It's underneath the whole pile there.
Oh, underneath the whole pile. This underneath here?
Yep.
Oh, I see it. Yeah. Okay. So for our red members who signed up for a year and a red member, we have the 6x8s and they're beautiful. You can frame them. Doesn't come, of course, with the frame, but even the 6x8s, these are not thrown together paintings. We're taking our time. The reason that I figure as long as I'm painting them, I would do them on YouTube, tell stories and so forth. People have missed the stories, and you could watch me paint them, and it's also less. It's kind of fun, but we'll be up there for a lot of days doing that during the week, and I hope you'll catch us and you know, and watch us and leave comments. And if you want to catch the live and just chat with your friends and look at paintings, that's fine too. We don't care what you talk about when you're chatting on live. You know, it's like, you know, our moderators make sure no mean people are there, and they don't. If they're not there, John would kick them off. It's just kind of live, a fly. What it would be like to be a fly in our studio and on the wall.
Wouldn't swat you.
And then, for instance,
But you didn't mention that the strawberry. You didn't mention the strawberries was Jules.
I did show. Jules got the strawberries. Yes.
Yeah, you didn't mention that.
Jules got the strawberries, and then you can see here's one. That's a 9x12. Now 9x12 is if you're a Purple member and did
2 years.
2 years. That's a 9x12. Here's another 9x12. Okay, and all different styles of painting, all different, mostly landscapes, but might not be. So you can just we'll just keep you posted on what we're doing there, and those of you who have participated with us.
And you want to make sure you sign up for our newsletter, because we send out a quick email saying that we're about to go fly on a wall episode, because sometimes the YouTube doesn't notify you, even if you say you want to be notified. So we are trying to do that as well. These are spur of the moments. We don't have a schedule, but they seem to be going on between 1 and 2 during the weekdays, Tuesday through Friday, Saturday.
Yeah, that's what you're trying to do it, you know. And when we first started, I had a pretty good cold. And I didn't say too much to anybody. That was last Tuesday because I could barely talk. But now we're doing the stories, and where's that little brush? Here. And you see we're starting to put the snow on the trees, and
getting it very wintry.
And I love angle brushes because you can do so much of that. And remember, snow plops, it just doesn't have to. Let's see, let's get our titanium white out again. We just pretty much used all that up. And snow just has to plop, and you know, and then you can do little tiny branches just by, you know, small brushes. This is a 3/8 inch Bristol on. If your kids are somebody, you have grandkids and they want to give you something for Christmas, and you know they're on a budget, ask them, why don't you get some of these more interesting colors that you normally wouldn't buy, like for instance maybe the cadmium orange. You might like to add that to your studio, or you know, something like that. Maybe there's been some colors of paint that you really kind of wanted and you just hadn't you know, got that. So again, you see how we're getting this wonderland in here. Haven't finished the snowman, but this is a good time to do this. There we go, just sort of soften these trees out a bit like that. All right, so we'll come back to those, but I think we're doing pretty good. We've got our nice little forest going here. Let's be brave, and let's put the hat on, shall we? So I'm going to say I want Cad Red medium for the hat. Ooh, did you see all the water on the brush? Look at that.
I did. You needed to wring it out.
Yeah. Okay, so let's try again. Cad Red medium. My hat, maybe a little bit of that red here. Color. This is the shadow side. We're going to do that. And then I'm going to do a little bit of red with a little tiny bit of ultramarine blue. And that makes almost a wine color. And that's the shadow under the hat.
Has the countryside home been spoken for? If not, I want it. K. Phillips. I don't know which one that was. Which one was a countryside home? Did you call one a countryside home?
I don't know. Was that the last one we did?
I don't know.
Was that the last one we did? Yeah, I think, you know, I don't know. Maybe. Tell us. Help us out here.
Help us out, Kay.
We're old.
We paint so much we don't even know what we're painting anymore. Oh, I see your iPad's blocking the palette a little bit. That's good.
Okay. Here.
Oh, that
All right.
did
So again,
help.
this is at an angle right here, the side of his hat. It kind of goes like that, right? Everybody? Little angle here, little angle there. Here an angle, there an angle, everywhere an angle. Old big snowman had an angle. All right, I know it's late. Just want this darker. Maybe a little purple. Okay. Ooh, how fun is that, right? Don't you love it already? It's just, come on, it's just fun, right? Not done, but we're getting there. And gosh, who doesn't love painting? I love painting. I hope you guys love painting. I love painting. It's like magic. It's just, you know, I'm not a magician, but it's like magic when you bring a painting like this to the canvas and you get all these beautiful colors. Now I've got a blue here and I have a turquoise. You see how nice that looks? And you know, you get all these beautiful colors. And I always ask myself, where else can I use that color? It's one of my big things, is where can I use that color? All right, so I'm still working on this, and then I'm cleaning my brush. And here's a thing, here's a tip. If you're using a cloth and you're cleaning it every once in a while, you're going to start making your brush dirty because you're going to be going over the same colors. So you might want to switch it out, you know. All right, so let's make this, let's see, what do we got here? This was the Cad Red Medium. That was Cad Red Light. Let's do Cad Red Medium. That's probably your closer red. I hardly ever use Naphtha Crimson, but Cad Red Medium is a good color. Look at that, see? Over the scarf. And I want this to curve down a little bit, the scarf, like zoop and back up, right? Not just, you know, like zoop. And then this has to go that way, okay? And then we're going to get a little bit of the Cad Red Light and do this part of his. See, that's just a little bit lighter than, whoops. Let's get another coat of red up here, okay? Then we want a little bit of this burgundy color, so we can just try a little magenta in that dark red, and maybe a little purple. Probably work fine. A little purple, probably as good as any. And I want some dark shadow here, in here like that. And I'm just plopping it on. See what I'm doing? Then clearing the brush and just giving it a little edge here. And let's just do a few little folds. Just tap it. Don't make a line, just tap it. Then there's a little bit of a fold here. A little shadow. Right like this. Pretty wet, so I'm trying to be kind of careful. All right. Now, when that dries, we can do other great things, but I want to make sure that we have our snowman in pretty good shape here. So again, this is where layers count, because if you do another coat of white on here, by about the third coat, it's pretty pronounced. And again, we want the little shadows on his tummy. And even up here on his face, the slightest little bit of glow, not as much as down there, but just a hint. And that you can do that if the white is wet when you try it. And then we'll try a little bit of this green shadow right here under his hat, like that. There you go. A little bit of a green shadow right there. Don't be afraid to dot in some color, because I mean that's really fun. John, what are you doing? He just disappeared.
Sleeping.
What?
I'm just sleeping.
Is there a? I'm not quite ready yet, but is there a frame for him?
I don't believe we have a square 12 by 12. I always
We
say
used
that,
to.
and we always
Now look,
do. So I have to go find it.
This one has to come up like that in front of his. This has to come up when you're doing the scarf. Okay. That's a little trick with scarves. Okay. And I'm going to do the cad yellow, cad orange, and top it down here with a few little just dots of color. Now I'm just going to take a second and dry that because I want to put the light color on it, and I can't because this is too wet, right?
Wait 1 second. 1 second.
John's looking for things, and I'm waiting for a second, right?
Can you put up that top 9 by 12 that's sitting there?
Which one?
The one you just covered.
Which one? This one. This one. Okay.
If that's the one you wanted.
John wants to know if that's the one you wanted or if it's the one of the other ranch houses. All right, I'm going to dry this. We're getting this great progress here. We're winding down. I know it's hard to believe, but we're winding down, and I got so many fun things to share. Got a little cat, a little light with some white, and put something light up here on his hat, like that. A little bit of light right here on his scarf. Maybe just some yellow here. Let's see. Okay. I'm not overdoing it. I don't want to overdo it. Just a little bit on his hat right there, okay? And then I'm going to take some. I'm going to rinse my brush because I have yellow on it. Then I'm going to take some white paint and come on up here like this. And just, rather than draw a line, I'm going to plop the paint like it fell on his hat. And my brush was too wet, so we're wringing out the water. Like that. Now, so it's, I want to plop it like it fell. On his hat like that. See the difference? Put a little bit of white there. A couple little snowflakes there. When you do his face, and let's just do this real quick with his scarf. Just do the little just a little scarf like that. Just maybe a little purple here going into that. There's this little fringe. When you do his face, I'm going to show you. I got a neat trick because sometimes it's hard to get the carrot in the right place and stuff. So we're going to do that, and also we want to you want the snow to be starbursting away from him, like going this way and then out this way. So we're going to come up here with another coat of white paint, tiny little bit of the lighter warm color, little short strokes, almost like we're stomping. We want to come out from him like that. See what I just did? And the same thing here too in a few places. Really light right up here next to this shadow. Okay. And give it that sort of that starburst effect. And here we're putting the white back on the tree again because it just didn't cover it. See that? That's why you have to do it twice. Okay. And you want that, and here's a little zinc white, and that's just going to go up here like this over the tree. This sort of mist all this out so you're not talking about it. See the background? See how we just fuzzed all that? Just fuzz! Almost like we took an airbrush and just fuzzed it, right? Then, okay. So if you're happy with, if you're happy with that, okay, and you just got this and your shadows up here like that, it looks like he's melting a little bit almost, doesn't it? That's scary. We're sorry. We didn't mean to make you look melting. But on the other hand, that's a feature, right? We learned how to do that too, right? So then, I know you're getting kind of tired. Is you ever going to finish this? Let's take a little bit of white paint. Just come on up here like this, a little bit more in the... There you go. Just put something up in the sky. And then... Now, this is where those pens are kind of nice. Because if you didn't want to use your brush, these brown pens are lovely. Whoops, here, let's just do that. There you go, bye. So these little pens are really, really nice. So what you want to do is like next to his face, right? I'm just going to show you him doing his face. You've got to imagine the kids made him with what, probably little acorns or something? There's his little smiley face, like that. Now his nose is right in the middle, and if you thought of his face as a clock, his nose goes right to here. You're about 11 o'clock, okay? So then I'll paint that in, but it's important to understand the direction that you're going to paint it in. I'm going to use the cadmium orange, and I'm using this brush like this. I'll just come here like that and just add some pressure, just like that, and then widen it out at the base. See? Yeah? Yes and yes? And we can have like a little shadow underneath this nose like that, and you can paint that in or use a pen. Maybe a little bit of a shadow under the bottom of the carrot. Just barely, you barely want to see it though if you're going to do it. You need a really good brush for that, right? And then I've got an eye that's right here, just kind of behind his nose. And it's just brown like that. And then I got another one right here. Little eye, kind of like that. And I might have made those too big, but I know where the white paint is, so I'm not too stressed about that. And I might bring his hat down. I got it a little bit big. I might do it small. I might bring his hat down like that. Okay. I want some bright red on his hat. I want some brighter red now some places. Cad red light is a good bright red. Once your paint starts to dry and it darkens, red's one of those colors where you need a few coats to really pop the color. Now, probably for his, and I would say kind of mark where you want this, but for his buttons, I think I'll just go right into the reds like this. I'm going to start right under his nose and start here with the button. And then right here, there you go. And right there, okay? Those are the buttons. And you can decorate your snowman any way you want, but that's how I'm doing it. Then I'm going to put some red on top of that. Some cad red, brighten that up. Okay. The pins, I think I told you, I thought would be very good for the arms. They come out about halfway between these two spaces, and they go up like that. They're little twigs and they're little sticks, and they go up. And they need to curve a little bit. Now I will paint those in. And then this one is going to be a little bit more substantial. They couldn't find the same tree. Okay. So that's going to be that one. So not, you know, he's doing his thing. And a lot of the personality on a snowman is his face and his expression, and also his little arms. Those are, you know, all part of the experience of having, you know, having a snowman in the woods that you're creating. So, I'm going to dry his arms real quick, John. Now, this is where we get into the fine art stuff. We're going to start putting the highlights on the highlighted color of his arms on the branches, like this. See, stuff like that makes a difference, right? You guys appreciate that, right? Okay, and I think I want to bring his nose down a little bit further than I had it. Okay, that looks better. And then, there's always an and then, isn't there? A couple little highlights in his eyes. Now, just backing away from this picture and just kind of looking at what we have, right? I'm going to just take a few dots of color, and this, which in this case would be white. And I think I need a little bit more of this purple color, and I'm out of zinc, but that's okay. I don't want to skip on the final stuff, because that purple ends up a little bit too abruptly for me here. So I've got some zinc white, and I'm going to pull that over in here a little bit with just a touch of purple in it. See what I'm doing? That mauve color. This is why you layer the same thing over here. continue on with our little bit of snow. Just using tiny little dots. Don't want to overdo it, just a few. Just to give the feeling of that there's like trees back here. Let's just push that one back a little bit, that tree, in the distance. Then we'll take the white paint and do another coat of white right here. And here. And let's put the what? Oh yeah, a little bit of a shadow under the buttons. Okay. And a tiny little bit of the light yellow on the top as a highlight. Drop a drop of that on. And I think that, what do you think, John? Do you think that about got it?
I think you've about got it.
I think that was what I intended to show you on this. And I'm glad I did it large enough so you could really see it, right?
You can appreciate all its color.
Yeah, because it isn't just, you know what I mean? And I wanted to make sure that you could really see the lantern back here in the forest. Let me just make sure I've got enough gold paint around it. So it's kind of glowing back, and there you go, like that. That's right, picking up a little of the light from that. You've got a little bit of the light coming out of here like this, a little tiny bit. And I think we've got our little woodland guy. What do you think, John?
Well, I call him a snowman versus a woodland guy, but yeah.
Yeah, okay, just going to do a little bit of this brown here. Just soften this. This is just nondescript forest that we're not talking about, but we're just back out there somewhere doing whatever forests do, right? All right. Well, yeah, right? So that's exactly what, I'm just softening that a little bit, right? That's exactly what I wanted to share with you guys today. And I hope that, next week we'll do flowers, or we won't do, I know you're all over, if you've decorated for the holidays, you've done it, though I think this is more of a wintertime painting. But we understand that it's just a little bit darker here, right here, like that, with the white. Wherever there's a light, there's a dark. So since this is whitest part right here, I had to, see how that shows up, because I, made that darker right there, and then this was the dark part. So then we have it lighter right there. That was the trick behind that. Oh, this is the kind of, I don't know. I hope this was fun. And you guys, I'd love in the comments below if you enjoyed if you enjoyed our session of painting, even though it was a little longer than we normally go. It's a little bit longer. But we appreciate you hanging out there with us. And we'll see you down the road, or perhaps you'll join us for our new featured, I'm going to put a little red in these trees. New featured story time. So thank you very much for everybody that's the donations. Thank you guys for always sharing these videos and helping others understand what we're doing. That's so appreciated too. Have a safe and happy holiday. Thank you. See you next week.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.